Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Terry Rich. We get to be with you over the next week or so to tell you about a lot of fun things. And today, I get to talk about Urban Slicer's Pizza Works. This, coming up is the big game, and we like to talk about eats. And the Urban Slicer Pizza Works, this is a solution I really didn't know much about until Whitney got here from Fareway and said, let's do something that'll be fun, it'll be simple.
Yes,
How do you
and
create
creative.
great pizza pie at home?
Yes, we are partnering with Urban Slicer Pizza Works. So they have the kind of pizza crust kit that you make at home, the sauce and the toppings, kind of the seasonings as well.
So let's look at this. This is
we have the Neapolitan, which is kind of the classic, an outdoor grilling.
Thin.
These are all pretty thin. I didn't bring the deep dish.
Outdoor
grilling. So if you'd like to have like an outdoor pizza party, this is made for the grilled grates, and then a gluten-free if you need that.
Then you've got the sauce and the seasonings.
So the crust. If you've ever made crust at home before, a lot of times you kind of mix it and go. This one has real yeast in it. It takes a little bit more attention than maybe you're used to.
All right.
So you need to knead it either by hand or in a mixer, and then you have to proof it for a couple hours.
What do you mean by proof it?
That's when you let it sit in a bowl. In my example, in my house, I have to put it in the oven because my house is too cold. You need to kind of know the temperatures. So you need to let it rise a little bit. But if you are let's say a working parent, or you want pizza on a weeknight, you might not time it right. So I'm gonna show you how to make a crust ahead of time so that you can plan in advance. This would be great for the big game Sunday if you want a big make your own pizza party. I have shaped everything into hearts today for Valentine's Day. I told my kids are 5 and 7, they love stuff like this. I did this at Christmas but made snowmen. And
what you're about to show us, everything's right here. You've added water to this, right?
Yes, and then I let it sit, and I just wanted to show you how I make it into a heart. So this crust, I've worked and reworked. It's too worked, but it is not as hard as you think. I did some research on how to make the best heart and get it shaped sort of in a circle.
Let me hold this up just a little bit.
Yep, and then all you want to do is cut out a triangle right here.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you can fix it. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Can you eat this afterwards or beforehand?
No, I usually toss this if I have another one going. I rework it in. And then you can go from there. So if you want to make these ahead of time, this dough is obviously raw.
Yep.
I like to do what's called par baking, which means partially baked.
Partially baking, that sounds familiar.
So the directions on the bag will tell you to top the raw dough. But to make it easier, you can go through all of this step and then toss it in the oven as directed for just a few minutes. You're just looking for your crust to be a pale color and firm enough to handle.
And if you were doing this on the grill, or if you got a pizza oven, you'd still do it for a few, and then you'd be able to refrigerate. And
this one is par baked. You can see it's not raw. It's a pale color. It's just kind of firm enough.
Out of the fridge.
Yep, it's just kind of firm enough to handle. And I always do this. My kids can top it easier, and that way you can leave it in your fridge for 3 to 4 days. Or you can individually wrap it like I have, and freeze it for a couple months. And then anytime you want a make your own pizza, a homemade pizza, these crusts are ready to go. So I highly recommend you just take probably a weekend day to do this. It doesn't take that long, but just so you can let it all proof, and you just make a ton of crusts at once.
Urban
and then you have them
Slicer
ready.
Pizza Works.
Is
what this is. Now this is in the regular pizza section?
Yep, in the pizza section. The sauce, no preservatives, no added sugars. I believe it is 10 out of 10. The sauce is so good, and it's perfectly portioned for the amount of pizza crust in the bag.
All right, now I love my crusts crisp.
Yes.
And you're talking, when we're saying pizza here, how long does it take, now that you've got the dough done and you've got everything set to put the toppings on and you're going to put it in, how long is it usually cooked?
So if you were going to cook this as directed when it's raw, not partially baked, it's 8 to 10 minutes in your oven at about 500 degrees.
That's much quicker than
that. You partially bake it 5-ish or so, really depending on how much you've partially baked it.
So the time goes into getting the dough made and letting it rise because it's got yeast in it.
It's got that real yeast in it.
Gives you a whole new flavor that you don't have when you're buying something
and
else.
Letting it rise so you get that nice kind of airy, thin, crispy crust that we're looking for.
Now you also have some toppings. Anything special on toppings?
If you wanted to lighten up the toppings a little bit, trying to work in some more vegetables if you can for those nutrients, I've also included some Amy Lou chicken sausage to lighten it up. And this is a great option because these are fully cooked and individually wrapped. So if you are cooking for 1 or 2 people, you could just pull out one of these links, you could pull out one of your frozen crusts, and you're ready to go for 1 or 2 people, and you're not wasting anything.
And here's what we have when it's all said and done. Look at that, a heart-shaped pizza.
A heart-shaped pizza.
And I like because you cooked it, I'm going to try.
Okay,
if I were to cook
perfect.
that, it may not taste as good. It's going to be great. So everybody, there's a big deal coming up February 12th too. We'll talk about look up at Fareway, and you'll see all sorts of ways to learn how to cook.
Yes.
Fareway, you are great.
Thank
you so
you.
much for stopping by. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.